What would you do if a police officer called and said, your son was involved in an incident, but wouldn't tell you if he was alive? I was sitting at my desk at work when my phone rang with an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something in my gut told me to pick up. Is this the father of Liam Carter? The voice asked. Yes, I said slowly. Why? What happened? The officer cleared his throat. Your son was involved in an incident near the elementary school. My entire body went cold. What kind of incident? Is he hurt? I can't say over the phone, sir. You need to get here immediately. Everything inside me dropped at once. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready. 5 minutes earlier, I was doing spreadsheets. Now it felt like the world was tilting. My hands shook so badly I could barely grab my keys. I ran out of the office so fast my coworkers didn't even have time to ask what was wrong. As I drove, the situation started feeling more impossible by the second. My son walked the same route to school every day. Nothing ever happened on that street. Nothing ever changed. But something had happened today, and I didn't know if my son was even alive. Traffic slowed to a crawl right before the school. I leaned out my window shouting, "Move, please!" Cars wouldn't budge. People were rubbernecking. Something big was happening ahead. I ditched my car right there in the street and ran. As I turned the corner, I saw flashing lights, 2 police cars, 1 ambulance, yellow tape fluttering in the wind. My chest tightened so hard I could barely breathe. A cluster of parents stood to the side, whispering. One mother gasped when she saw me. "Are you Liam's dad?" she asked. "Yes. Where is he? What happened?" Her face collapsed. She covered her mouth. "Oh God, you don't know yet?" My heart dropped even further. "No what?" She didn't answer. She just pointed toward the ambulance. I ran so fast my vision blurred. Before I reached it, a paramedic stepped in my way. "Sir, stop. Is that my son? Is that my child in there?" I screamed. "We're not sure yet," he said gently. "Not sure? Not sure?" I felt faint. My legs nearly gave out. Then I heard a voice behind me. "Sir, you need to come with me." It was the officer who'd called me. He guided me toward a bench. "The incident didn't happen on school property," he explained. "It happened a block away." "What incident?" I choked out. He hesitated. "Another child was injured." The world started spinning. "Another child?" I repeated. "My son, was he involved? Was he the one hurt?" "I can't tell you yet, sir." I wanted to grab him, shake him, force him to say the words, because everything looked bad. Everything pointed to the worst. Then a teacher ran over, panicked. "Are you Liam's father? You need to listen. Liam wasn't in class this morning." My stomach dropped through the floor. "What do you mean he wasn't in class? He never came inside," she said quickly. "We thought he was late." But then, she glanced toward the ambulance. "Then we heard a student was involved in an accident." My heart shattered. If he didn't make it to class, if a child was hurt, if nobody could confirm anything, my son was probably gone. Then the officer's radio crackled. "Update on the kid from the corner. Bring the parent." That was me. I knew it was me. My knees almost buckled as I followed the officer toward the ambulance. He pulled back the curtain, and I froze. It wasn't my son on the stretcher. It was another boy, blood on his forehead, crying, scared. A young medic was calming him. I couldn't even speak. I just stared. Then, "Dad?" I spun around so fast I almost fell. Liam was standing behind me, covered in dirt, shaking, but completely alive. I dropped to my knees. Oh my God, Liam, come here." He burst into tears and ran into my arms. "I tried to call you," he sobbed. "My phone died. I didn't know what to do." I held him so tight I felt his heartbeat against mine. You're okay. I've got you. I've got you." But then the officer cleared his throat. "There's more, sir." I turned. "What?" I asked cautiously. The officer gestured to the injured boy. "He's the reason this child is alive." I blinked, stunned. The medic stepped forward. "Your son pulled him out of the street before a car hit him. He didn't run away. He stayed with him until help arrived." Liam buried his face in my chest. "I didn't want him to die, Dad." The officer nodded. "Your kid saved a life today." For a moment, I couldn't breathe. Not from fear this time, but from overwhelming relief and something like pride so big it hurt. I kissed the top of my son's head and whispered, "You didn't just survive today. You were the hero." He squeezed me tighter. And for the first time in my life, I cried in front of a whole crowd and didn't care who saw.